What's up, believers? Welcome to Make Us Believe, a wrestling podcast by fans for fans. I am one of your hosts, Michael.
And I'm your other host, John.
And today we are coming in not so hot after the Clash of Champions that happened in Saudi Arabia, as well as the last couple of weeks of SmackDown and Raw, because, we've been busy and everything. But we are going to cover those things today. So, John, I'm going to lead off with we had another PLE in Saudi Arabia. Did it meet your expectations?
Well, I'll say this. So the until the main event, I thought it was a pretty, you know, B-side PLE, which I was expecting. And then I'll
I
say,
love that.
we got to the main event, and I was expecting Cody probably was going to retain. Maybe Gunther was going to take the belt. I thought there was maybe a 5% chance Sammy was going to, but he did.
Mhm.
He did. Now, I understand that a lot of controversy surrounds this for a multitude of reasons. But one thing that I did notice on social media was that a lot of people were upset when Sammy won. I'll say, fuck you guys. I was ecstatic.
Aha!
Sammy, Sammy's had a long career. He's been a stud all the way through. Um, he can make the most out of any gimmick, any story. He's just full throttle and he does everything he's supposed to do. I know that like everybody was calling for him to be champ, maybe a few months ago to a year. It didn't happen. Everybody kind of faded a little bit on it. He kind of turned into this kind of borderline face heelish, kind of really a heel, but realistically not doing anything heelish, just kind of the crowd turning on him and him kind of rolling with that because again, he's a pro and he's awesome at what he does. And he took the belt. And to me, super well deserved. Anybody who doesn't like Sammy right now, it's because he's doing his fucking job. He's being that annoying guy who's throwing him being a good face in your face because he has been. He literally hasn't done anything heelish, really. I would argue that Cody does more heel things than Sammy does, and Cody's the face of the company, literally and figuratively. I mean, not really literally, but he's the face of the company, and he's in all the billboards. He's also the biggest face in the company. I don't know. To me, like Sammy's just kind of one of these guys that like I said, he's making this situation go. Like he's making this work, and he absolutely deserved to be a WWE champion. And then, um, we get to SmackDown. Obviously, a lot of weird things going on where, Nick Aldis is, kayfabe suspended. Yeah, that's a whole nother story. I got my, obvious predictions on that. But yeah, then, he's got to have a match on Raw, which the belt isn't even on to defend this. Stupid. But where's Raw at? Chicago. So Cody gets beat up right at the beginning. Who's gonna be who's gonna be there? I think everybody kind of knew, but I'll give Punk this. He always seems to return in Chicago. You always seem to know it's gonna happen, but it still always hits. Like I'm not gonna lie. Um, I still kind of popped for it when he came out, but I knew what it meant at the same time, and I hate it. I hate it to death. You can make an argument that Punk's kind of becoming what he hated. He always talks shit about these part-timers coming and taking their glory away from people who deserve it. He's talked shit about Hogan being a guy like that, and now we got CM Hogan here taking the belt from Sammy, who took so long just to get an opportunity to get this title. 10 failed title matches to finally win to have a 9-day title reign.
Yeah.
Now, you can make a lot of predictions about where this is going to go. I certainly hope Sammy gets a chance to actually carry this title and we could see if, it generates, good business because obviously they're a company and that's what they want, but they didn't even give him an opportunity. And that's what annoys me the most. I would have liked
Yeah.
to see what a Sammy title reign looked like. We got to see
Yeah,
Sammy get the title, but we didn't get to see a Sammy title run. I think, like I said, I'm glad he at least, at the very least, gets to have that on his resume. But to be a transitional champion, to have zero title defenses, I just rubs rubs me the wrong way. But yeah, I'm sorry, I went off on a little rant. Believe it or not, I actually kind of had to hold back a little bit. That's about as short of a rant as I could have made the situation we have right here. But I understand this is a two-person show, so Michael, what do you think about this?
I'm going to echo pretty much everything that you said. Included, look, and I know that first out, right out of the gate, that this does make us hypocrites because we have stated previously, I think this season even, and for damn sure last season, how we've like been mad at the fact that Sammy didn't get his chance. And we've said, even if you're going to give it to him for a freaking week, give it to him because he deserves to be a champion, right? And now they've done it. And now we're like, that wasn't long enough.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
realistically, yeah, you're right. We're hypocrites. Fuck you. We don't care. Sammy deserves to it. 9 days is nothing, right?
no,
That's the flight home from Saudi Arabia. And it's great that he got to win it in Saudi and everything. And I love that he won it. Don't get me wrong. I am so happy. I thought he was gonna get screwed and there was gonna be some after like shenanigans that happened or some post show shenanigans or whatever. And like the fact that he won it and won it, I mean, relatively like as clean as you probably could win it in a triple threat. Like, let's be real here,
yeah.
right? It wasn't like there was a whole lot of shenanigans that happened. It was just your typical triple threat match stuff going on.
I mean,
So
it was clean. Yeah, I mean,
yeah,
you could
exactly.
argue like it's a roll up, but that's clean. That's a clean
It's
win.
clean. Yeah. And it wasn't like, oh, the ref just didn't see the shoulder up or Gunther's leg was under the rope for reals or, or
Mhm.
anything like that. It wasn't anything like that. It was, he rolled him up 1, 2, 3, Sammy's new champion. That's what
And
happened.
he didn't roll up Gunther. He rolled up the actual champion.
Yeah. So it, in all honesty, like that was perfect for me.
Mhm.
And I was losing my mind when it happened. And I was waiting for the ball, like waiting for the shoe to drop, and it never did. And I'm like, holy crap, they're actually going to do this. Then you fast forward literally a little over a week, and in his first title defense, you give it to CM Punk, who hasn't been here since WrestleMania.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
it's the epitome of like what happened when Roman Reigns came back in his heel persona, right? He came back and injected himself into the world title match between Braun Strowman and The Fiend, and that's how Roman started off his reign.
Hmm.
Like that was
Yes,
it.
it is.
He came back with Paul Heyman and just inserted himself in the match. And that like out of like the part in like one of the most part-timery things that you could possibly do, right? And then CM Punk comes back and does the same damn thing. Well, and
Yeah.
every point you hit, he's always bitching about The Rock coming in and taking shine away, Cena coming in and taking shine away, Hogan coming in and taking shine away because they're part timers and they're just using them as his big names. Meanwhile, smaller guys like him are sitting there grinding their ass off day in, day night on the road, not seeing their families, beating up their bodies, putting themselves through physical hell for the chance to get on TV. And these guys just show up and get handed these things. I know who CM Punk is. I realize everything on that, but dude, that is not a good optic. At the very least, if we're giving him all of the grace in the world, that doesn't look good on him, just period. At best, it doesn't look good. At worst, he's literally becoming everything that he railed up against. And
Yep.
even if he's older, he is aging out and stuff like that. We get that. And it's like, okay, this is what his body can sustain right now or whatever, then cool. But at least if that's the case, have some kind of build up then. If you know you're only going to be able to wrestle part time, at least be there for the other times to build the story, not just show up because it's in Chicago and therefore CM Punk is just going to be able to walk out of his, his house in the suburbs or whatever he has. I don't actually know where he lives. He might have a place in the city or whatever. But you know what I mean? Like he's going to come out of his house and literally drive his way down to the stadium, and
Yeah,
that's how he's going to get his next world title. Like, come on, man. Like
yeah. Punk
I
didn't need this.
understand the pop, but yeah, he didn't need this at all. Like Sammy literally 10 tries, and that's not 10 years. That's 10 tries over, I think, what is his tenure been like 15 years now, something like that in the WWE,
Oh
like
yeah,
including
I'm sure it
NXT and
has been.
stuff. Like,
Yeah.
dude's been grinding at this for well over a decade, finally gets it, and is met with less than double digit days on his title run. And it's Sami Zayn, so there's no guarantee that they're ever going to give it to him back, because that literally all this told me was that this was a way to introduce Sami Zayn winning the world title was the precursor to CM Punk coming back onto the roster, which is
Yep.
bullshit.
I
Absolute
agree.
bullshit. And I mean,
Yeah. I
it's
mean,
like they're posting like CM Punk and Cody Rhodes mainlining WrestleMania, or
oh
not
yeah, they're already moving
SummerSlam.
on.
They're already moving on, and it's like, dude, are you telling me that CM Punk and Sami Zayn wouldn't have been able to bring the house down at SummerSlam? Are you telling me that CM Punk, Sami Zayn, and Cody Rhodes in a triple threat at SummerSlam wouldn't have brought the house down?
It
Like you
absolutely
couldn't have
would have.
had him going into that with that aspect. Like CM Punk literally had to come back, win the title on night one after being gone for 3 months or more than 3 months, or whatever. And then that's how we were going to get to SummerSlam. Like we couldn't
Yeah.
just I mean, we let Jay hold it for a while before we took it back. He got to hold it for a couple months. Why couldn't have we given the same thing to Sammy? That's all I'm saying. Like it doesn't make any sense in a long term storyline wise, however I look at it, because at the end of the day, it seems like it's going to be Sami Zayn, CM Punk, and Cody Rhodes at the very least in a triple threat at SummerSlam, right?
Yeah.
If they're keeping Sammy in the main event. So if that's the case, why did we have to take the title off? Why couldn't we just build up the storyline around Sami Zayn being a champion and turning heel while he was a champion? So you want him to lose. So
Yeah. I
you
mean,
could
the
have done
best
a
case scenario. Yeah. I mean, the best case scenario is they insert him back in and they give him another title run, which would be cool. Like, don't get me wrong, as dumb as it kind of sounds, I could get into that. But like, what are
yeah,
the odds that that happens? It could. Like, WWE has certainly been known to take the fans on a roller coaster here and there, and if that's what they're doing, awesome. I tip my cap. You just put me through all the emotions. Bravo, Zulu. But I don't think that that's what's happening. I think that they just wanted to
no,
give them one and get the Saudi pop and give the Saudis what they wanted. And now they're over it. Sammy gets to have that on his resume and they're moving forward with business as usual. That's what I think is going to happen. And yeah, CM
yeah,
Punk did, like we said, CM Punk didn't need this. Like he took 7 years off, came back, all things considered, fairly recently. In that time, he's been a two-time AEW world champion and now a three-time WWE champion. That's just since returning. He already had world championships before that. Like this guy
yeah.
isn't hurting for glory. Sammy was
Hey,
hurting for glory.
I'll say this though. Since coming back, we've both agreed that Punk has been a company guy. He's taken his L's, he's taken his W's, he's done the storylines. Like he's been there when he needs to be there. So
Oh yeah,
I
sure,
got
sure, absolutely.
no issue with Punk winning the title necessarily. I love Punk as champion. I
Just
do
not
like
this
his
way.
fighting. Yeah, not this way. That's all. That's all I'm saying with this. I think that's all John's saying with this. I'm not trying to speak for you
Correct.
here,
No, correct.
but
Totally
like,
correct.
but this was not the way to do it. Like you just fucked over the fans hard. If that's where you're going and that's like cool, that's the emotion you're trying to get us to, like you alluded to, great. You absolutely did it. Following that that PLE into the next couple of weeks, you made us feel everything from elation to rage. So well
Mhm.
done. But
Yeah.
if I don't know that if this is going to be a Chris Jericho scenario or a Jey Uso scenario, right? Where like Chris Jericho, you took the title from him because in that BS storyline was like, yeah, it was a quick count by Earl Hebner on Triple H, so they took the title back. And
Yeah, it
then,
was horrible.
Vince tells him like, "Ah, don't worry, you're going to get it back." You know, and he did. He becomes the world's first, the first undisputed champion and everything, right? So
Yep.
that absolutely that worked out for Chris Jericho. But then you have Jey Uso, who literally grinds, 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 has the world behind him, wins the world title. 2 months later, he's out of the picture. And then he gets brought back in every once in a while because they want to see the people yeet because it's impressive on the video, on the TV.
Mhm.
But you really, every time Jay is in a main event, you don't believe Jay is actually going to win. He's there as fodder. And that's how it feels right now. So it's like, is that going to be Sammy now? Now you have a guy because he was a world champion. You can throw him into a main event picture and have it be quote unquote believable, but it's never actually believable. Like,
Yeah,
which is it?
that's
Which is it going to be?
yeah, that's what makes it so frustrating is because WWE, since TKO took over, is a difficult company to trust. With doing at least in our vision what we think is right. Obviously,
Yeah.
this is a subjective art, but to me, I think it would maximize value and be best for the fans, especially the long-term fans who are invested who deserve a reward. We like to see, the guys we've been watching for decades get rewarded. That's how we get rewarded. Going back to what you said at the very beginning, we did say give it to Sammy, even if it's just for, a very brief time. Well, yeah, like if you're going to give me the option of Sammy winning it, holding up for 9 days and losing it, or not winning it at all, of course I'm still going to take that. But then you get it, and obviously you want what it can be worth. Like there was real potential there. And you know what? I don't know. Maybe Sammy would have fallen on his face. I doubt it, just based on what we've seen from Sammy and Sammy's track record. I think he really could have made something work with that. But we don't know because you didn't give it a chance. And I think that that's what's frustrating. Like I can, we can say like we take that over nothing, but that doesn't mean that, we wanted to settle for that. Like that was the bare minimum, and that's what we got. And bare minimum is going to be disappointing.
Absolutely. Every time. It
Yep.
absolutely will every time. Because we can see it. Like the longer term fans, which I understand they're not necessarily programming for because they figure they have the loyalty, right? Like they put on a better show than any of the other competitors.
Mhm.
And that's like, yeah, we're gonna lock you up. You're gonna be mad and you're gonna go somewhere else, but then we're gonna do some flashy shit and you're gonna come back anyway. So we don't need to entertain you. We need to entertain the younger generations and the people that are just arriving at the door. And I get that. But also, like you said, man, like we like to see our people come through and like actually have some good stuff. Sammy's not going to be here forever. You're telling me you couldn't let him go on like a 3, 4, 5, 6 month run
Oh
with it?
yeah, without knowing their ages for sure, but I bet you he's close to the age of CM Punk. These are both, old school indie guys who, made good.
Yeah. Yeah. So it is. It's just frustrating. And you hit the nail on the head. Like, you can't trust what TKO is doing because what looks like it should be a slam dunk. And like, granted, we've been watching a long time, a very long time. Um, so we can recognize patterns and see where the storyline is going and kind of make some guesses and stuff. So it is harder to swerve us than it would be to, a brand new fan who doesn't know really what to expect. But even with that, like, like y- it is the swerve worth, what's good for business kind of thing. Like at what point are they sacrificing what could have worked for business for what's good for business for the sake of the swerve or vice versa? Are they giving up the surprises and stuff like that for what they think is good for business? Which isn't always because, like you said, can't trust TKO to know what they're doing. Like WWE has a track record, TKO doesn't. And as much as they want to say that TKO is not pulling any strings and that it's all Paul and the rest of the, or, like Triple H and the rest of the creative department, I don't know. Like that's really hard to think that. a multi-billion-dollar organization that just bought you or that bought you out doesn't have any level of creative control or investment in what happens.
Yeah, and I mean,
So
on that note, like, and again, this is a controversial topic too, and nobody nobody knows for sure, but just looking at how Triple H had done in NXT and looking at how things were going with WWE before, TKO at least had been rumored to be becoming more hands-on, Triple H was doing a good job.
yeah,
For him to just have this kind of fall off, I don't know, it just doesn't seem likely to me. I don't buy it. I think that TKO, maybe handcuffed him a little bit. So where people are like, well, somebody else needs to step in. Triple H doesn't know how to do this job. I don't know if that's true. I think anybody else who came in, no matter how brilliant or stupid, would wind up being handcuffed by TKO now too. That's speculation. Again, I don't know for sure what's going on inside the company, but I think that that's at least a fair speculation.
yeah, I feel like that too. It's like look at it for any other sport, right? Like I understand what wrestling is, and it's, basically more performance art than sport. And I get that.
Hmm.
But with any sport out there, you can have a team that, just won the world championships or whatever, the World Series, the Super Bowl, what have you, because the GM made some brilliant moves as far as the roster goes and whatever. But then you get new ownership and they want to do things their way to save money or whatever. And then all of a sudden, you're world champions literally 6 months ago are absolute shit now because you know the ownership has decided to change things up to make it more efficient or whatever, and it ruins the vibe. And
Yeah,
honestly, like I see little bits of that here, like they're trying to fight it and had to come up with a bunch of storylines and stuff that they actually had to interject into
sorry.
the product to show that they're not, or to state that they're not involved. But like, come on, guys, there's no chance that TKO is not involved in some of the
Oh,
creative decision making.
yeah, totally agree. Totally
Yeah.
agree.
So yeah, it's it's just crap storytelling in my opinion. We didn't give him a chance to even like his first title defense. Like we couldn't even give him a title defense against, like not like I would have rather him squashed to Oba, honestly. I
Nah,
like
nah, I'm not going that far. But
honestly don't, like no, 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 no. If we're gonna do this like for real, like CM Punk doesn't need it, and what are we gonna have to do? Like CM Punk goes in an epic match against Oba Femi. Like the dude is 47. Like, I just looked it up. 40. It's 47 for CM Punk and 41 years old for Sami Zayn. So they're
okay.
relatively close. But like honestly, like if he was gonna be just a transitional champion and it was just literally going to go to the next person that challenged him like a week later, I would have rather it gone to somebody who could have really used it rather than somebody like CM Punk who doesn't need it. The
Yeah,
that that
I'm
main that main event at SummerSlam, which I'm assuming it's going to be the main event as well. No, it's not because Roman Reigns and everything else, but or Brock and Oba. But a main event caliber match between Cody Rhodes and CM Punk literally doesn't even need the title to be that. Like you don't need the title involved in that for that match to blow up and be amazing. They're going to give their all and it's going to be awesome no matter what. You don't need the title for that bit. But I know it makes everything shine brighter when it is in there, so I get it. But yeah, like CM Punk doesn't need that. Like I would have rathered it gone to somebody like Oba or LA Knight or somebody like that and have them being got their first one off of that and maybe traded back and forth. Give it to Sammy, who gives it to LA Knight, who gives it to, I don't know, somebody else who then has to give it to the
sure. I
triple
actually
threat or
totally agree
something,
with that. Yeah,
That
yeah.
that would have
Give it
been
a little quick pass around. Yeah,
yeah, because like cool, if you're gonna give Sammy his shine for 9 days, cool, then have it give somebody else their shine also for 9 days. Like we've said before, LA Knight's not getting any younger. So like why the hell not? You couldn't give it to him for 10 days, a week, 5 days,
well,
whatever.
that's what happens when you're in Chicago, I guess.
I
Um,
guess.
but yeah, I was looking forward to him defending it against Cody and kind of solidifying it a little bit. I thought that that's where they were going to go. I thought it was a little weird, like I said, with the Raw thing. That didn't make a lot of
Yeah.
sense to me. But yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
like I said, Raw was where? Chicago. So, let's suck off Punk a little bit more. But and again,
Oh, no,
to
hold on.
echo what you said earlier, to echo really quick, to echo what you said
Yeah.
earlier, we talked about it. I totally agree. I had a real bad taste in my mouth about Punk. I was still watching AEW regularly when he was on there. I thought he
Uh,
was just a locker room cancer. It looked like he was the bitter old man he was when he left WWE. But then he came back to WWE. He was a team player. You could tell it showed. He was a team player. He was back on board. And when Punk's, you know, in that mode, there really aren't a ton of people better. Punk is great. He's awesome on the mic. He's still good enough in the ring. But like honestly, not a lot of people better on the mic. You know, I'd say at least top 10 all time. You could argue top five. And maybe the best today. You could argue maybe MJF. There's a few people out there who are really good on the mic, but probably top two or three currently on the mic. Like he's phenomenal. And yeah,
yeah.
if it would have been done a little bit better, I could have been on board with it. But just like I said, like this is going to come across. I think my biggest issue is that even though Sammy got this and well deserved, like I said, nobody will ever be able to take that away from him. But now, like Sammy, who's always kind of struggled with kind of being a little bit of a joke character, I think this feeds into that. He's anytime he says he's a WWE champion, people are going to be like, you never even defended it. You didn't even hold it for 2 weeks. Like, get the fuck out of here.
It's almost going to be like when Kofi won and then he got some like easy defenses before he actually had to go up against like Brock and you just
Yeah,
knew,
yeah,
and it's like, yeah, you were a world champion, but really, were you? Like, there's a difference between Kofi Kingston world champion and Randy Orton world champion. Nothing against Kofi. And I wish that he had a better run, honestly, because I feel like he did deserve it. But when you look at the with the I don't want to say like the difficulty, but just like what the reigns look like between, your big headliner guys and the smaller guys where you can tell they give them a bone. There's a vast difference in that, you know? And I don't think that it's necessarily fair because it's like, cool, you're giving somebody their quote unquote flowers, for that big, you're giving them the title run. But it's like, hey, if you're going to give them the title run, give them a title run. They obviously can perform in the ring, or you wouldn't even be entertaining this as an option. So just let it happen. Why
yeah,
not? And also, why the hell was the SmackDown World Title defended on fucking Raw?
yeah. Like I said, because they're in Chicago and they wanted
It,
Punk to get the belt and they couldn't
it,
take it off Roman.
it's just so many holes, man. It's just so many holes.
Yeah,
And I just,
of course.
I hate it. I hate it. I hate it so much. I hate it so much. And it's not just because I'm a Sammy fan. It's, it, it just didn't make sense. And that's the thing I hate the most is when their decisions just don't make sense. If they're bad decisions, but they make sense, I can take it a little easier. This just didn't make sense to me.
No, and going back to what you were saying too about Kofi, and again, like I'm not trying to like go too far off topic, but it is a little different because Kofi at least got a little bit of a run, and but then he got squashed. Like the Punk Sammy match was actually a good match. Like it was a fun watch. I just didn't like the result. But
Yeah.
yeah, like shorter title, and also like again, like Sammy deserved this so much. Now this is where it gets controversial. I don't even think Kofi deserved to be a top title guy. Like I love New Day, maybe as much as you do, but like to me, those aren't top guys. Like everybody loved Kofi, so they were feeding into that. But to me, I don't know. New Day isn't you know main title guys. Sammy has been like a handful of times. Like whether like always able to like fill in there, but like even in the story mode, like there's been like a good 5 times where it made sense for him to take the title and they just didn't do it.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't know if you were breaking up or what there.
No, 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 no. I'm at a loss for words just because of how stupid it was.
Yeah, no,
And
it
I
was it
get it.
was,
I
yeah.
get what you're saying. And it's like, yeah, it doesn't. I don't think Sammy's going to be anything other than if you have him in the main event, he's the guy that you can put in there because he can perform at the main event level, but he's not there to win, right? Like he's there to job at the event level.
Like what,
He's
10 unsuccessful title shots. Like, yeah,
yeah,
they made that
yeah.
pretty clear.
Yeah, it's not like he shows up and you're like, "Oh, Roman." It's like Roman's in this match. There's a 50-50 shot here. It's like, no, you know Sammy's not coming away with it, but you know the match is going to be a banger. Like,
Yeah, I don't know anybody who's had 10 title shots who didn't have at least one world title, if not multiple.
yeah,
Like, he's the only one because he knows,
yeah,
again, they trust him enough for that, but they don't trust him enough to have a little bit of a title reign just to see how it goes. Like, get the fuck out of here.
yeah. And sometimes the pop isn't worth it. Like it's just not worth it to get the pop that one time and then ruin that storyline or whatever, or that potential.
And that's
Like
where
some
WWE's
decisions
wrong.
aren't worth the pop. It's not worth the
Yeah,
pop. Yeah.
that's exactly the point. Yeah. Like that's what they did it for. They did it for a Saudi pop. And for sure, I'm sure they were thinking about the Sammy Ryder dies at home. I say
Yeah.
that half jokingly, but realistically, like we're not the only ones who
We're not.
appreciate Sammy. Like I understand he's unpopular by design right now, but yeah, like the real Ryder dies, we're pumped. But yeah, it was absolutely for
Yeah.
that Saudi pop, and like for them to take it away so quickly, it's very clear and obvious it was only for that Saudi pop, and that's what's insulting. Like you're
Yeah.
insulting the true non-casual. And again, there's nothing wrong being a casual fan, but we're not. Like if you're a diehard fan and you've been watching for a long period of time, shit like this is just insulting.
Yeah. And hey, you know what? You did it for the pop. It doesn't matter. No amount of pop is gonna make a Saudi PLE anything more than a B-side Raw. Like it's never
Yeah.
an overhyped production of Raw. Like that's all it will ever be. And you can mark our words. We've said it now. We've said it earlier this season. We said it last season. WrestleMania 40, whatever, what, 43? um I think next year in Saudi
Something like that.
Arabia is going to suck. It is
Oh yeah.
going to suck. And I'm look, open challenge. I'm putting out the freaking Michael Open challenge to creative right now, specifically to you creative. You want to make me eat my words? Fucking make me eat my words. I want you to. Please, please make me eat my words. But you're not going to because it's Saudi and you're going to shit the bed because you always shit the bed because you take the money and you don't care about the actual storyline or whatever like that. And
Hmm.
their crowd isn't high. And there's also many other factors that go into it. Their crowd isn't as hyped up as anywhere else. It's just, it's not going to work. It's not going to work out. It's going to end up looking like an in your house at best. And you know what? If that's the choice you made, that's the choice you made. But I'm calling it right now. We've called it before. And honestly, we have the historical evidence backing us up in that prediction. Like the next WrestleMania is going to suck simply because it's in Saudi Arabia and they don't know how to book shows from Saudi.
Yeah. That's the sad truth of it for sure.
The
Yeah.
which so getting into like the Clash PLE, that was actually some of my issues with this was, I went in expecting a Saudi PLE, which if for whatever reason you're able to hear this, I don't know what the what's it called, the censorship stuff is in Saudi Arabia or not. Like I don't know if our show actually makes it there or not. But hey, if it does and you're listening, cool. We love you. We
Welcome.
love to have you here.
Welcome.
Welcome. We are not shitting on you as a fan. We are shitting on just everything that goes into bringing you the show, like the actual wrestling in there. Like the booking is terrible. I the venues have not been great. Like the way they've been laid out and stuff like that on TV has not been. And honestly, like the fans there just kind of don't get into it. as much, and that kind of does bring down the vibe.
Yeah,
So
it's a
I'm
money
it's
grab from a filthy rich company whose king or
yes,
whatever likes wrestling. Like that's what it is. Yeah.
exactly that. So to case in point, like for this PLE, it seemed like the crowd was pretty dead. Like it was a big crowd, but it looked dead. Like nobody was going, like only half the crowd was yeeting when Jay was doing his yeet. You
Hmm.
know, uh there was only a small fraction of people out there strutting with along with Oba, which I'm not saying that that needs to happen. It's not a necessity,
But it's
but it's
kind
a
of
good in
expected, and when it doesn't happen, it's a little bit of a red flag. It means that he's
it's
dying down a little bit. At least that's what it seems to me.
yeah, I feel like it's a good indicator of how engaged the fans are. And you
Hmm.
can see that visually and see people are yeeting, people are strutting and
Yeah.
it,
Oh yeah, because they make a
when
point to
you
show
don't
it.
see it, it says something.
Yes.
So that was just one of the things. The what was it? The for the Royal Rumble, remember the back end? They tried it again this time. The whole back end was all darked out, and they were trying to get like the lights from the LED lights built into the seats or whatever to do some visual effect stuff. And it ended up making the stadium look half empty because of the lighting choices. This time they gave everybody those little light sticks or whatever that were
Yeah.
behind the ring facing the camera and making everybody try and do the weird waving thing with the glow sticks, but it was literally only in one section of the arena, so it didn't catch on and nobody else was doing it and it just looked stupid.
Yep.
So I'm waiting to see what dumbass thing they try for WrestleMania because you know it's going to happen again. They're going to try something
Oh
stupid and
yeah.
it's going to
Without a
backfire.
doubt. Without a doubt.
Uh,
It's 100% chance.
the audio was messed up for the announcers, which this piqued my interest because of how like it seems like how like retentive they are about their production stuff. It was like, how did you not test the audio? Because
Yeah.
anytime Michael Cole and Corey Graves got excited, it blew out. It sounded like the speakers were blowing out, like the gain on the mic was way too high or something. And I was just like, if I'm hearing this at home, how the hell is the sound engineer in the truck not hearing this? Because
Right.
what the crap, man? Uh, yeah, there was just issues. There were just issues. And this is coming off of the heels of the European tour where every crowd was losing their damn minds. You know,
Yeah,
like
that was a pretty passionate tour. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, and good things happen. Honestly, it was a pretty fun tour. I enjoyed watching it. Yeah,
mhm.
it's just kind of a it's like they one step forward, two steps back is exactly what it feels like.
Yeah. Um, how do you feel about them? Okay, so I have opinions, but I want to know
Okay,
how you feel about this. The King
sure.
and Queen of the Ring overall, how do you feel like it went? Not just
Oh,
at the PLE, but like the overall from them starting the qualifiers to getting to the end.
oh, I mean, so like, do you want me to give it a letter grade?
Yeah, yeah, like just give it like a letter grade and a like an overview, not like an in-depth stuff, but just
Sure.
like
Yeah.
what how you
No.
feel it handled.
Yeah. No. I mean, I've touched on this a little bit, but yeah, if I were to give it a grade, I would say probably a F minus. Fuck that, dude. This thing sucked. Like, all right, and again, I know I've said some of this on previous episodes, but I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go with it. Um, I grew up where the King of the Ring was my second pay-per-view next to Royal Rumble. I love the King of the Ring being a tournament and a pay-per-view of its own, where in the pay-per-view, the tournament begins and finishes. It happens all in one pay-per-view slash PLE. That's the way God intended it. And you could you could say whatever you want about it, but that was good shit, man. It was really fun to watch. It meant something. It made it feel super important. It made it feel super intense. And then this, like, and I get it. I know. Like they scatter these tournaments out whenever they don't even do them every year. They kind of scatter them out a little bit. They certainly don't take place all in one night. But the thing is like I can do my best at accepting that the tournament format has changed. what I struggle with, and the first point I can, it's another one I can kind of get over, even though I don't like it. I'll never like it. I don't think any former champion should be in the tournament. Like the way this tournament was designed was for a true mid carder to get a little comeuppance. Like this means that you're gonna get a little push now. We're gonna see what you got, and a lot of times those guys turned into world champions pretty shortly thereafter. Um, that's what I think it should like. If you held a world title at any point, I don't think you should be qualified to be in the King of the Ring or Queen of the Ring tournament. So to have Liv Morgan in the tournament, automatically a big crock of shit to me. Like that's nothing I can swallow ever. That's nothing I can get behind. That's nothing I can accept. To me, her being in the tournament at all unacceptable. I don't care what storyline you're trying to go with. I don't care if you're trying to build her up as a bigger heel than she is. Fuck all that, dude. And I don't even have a problem with Liv. She's just trying to make the best with the story they're giving her. I don't even put this on her. You could have given this to anybody, and I would have been pissed off about it. So that on the Queen of the Ring side, bunch of shit. So now like Io wins, and now she just has to face her again in a rematch for the title. Like, I don't know. The whole thing's dumb. Really fucking dumb to me. And then you have Oba Femi win the King of the Ring tournament. I think I'm not alone here. I assumed Brock was going to come in, screw him over, and he wasn't going to win. Then they were going to do their SummerSlam match, but to have Oba win and then decline a title shot because he's mad at Brock, like that doesn't make any fucking sense to me. I'm not joking around, Michael. It makes me like Oba Femi less. I know this is all kayfabe. I know it's not real, but I'm watching like any big wrestling fan. I go into watching these shows and I'm accepting this as reality for the time that I'm watching the show. What fucking sense does it make for Oba Femi to turn down a world title shot when you're new on this stage to fight Brock because you're big mad? Like fuck that, man. Brock could wait. Brock's been fucking with you. Like, and even if he fucks you over in this match, at least you have a chance to win the world title. Like you
Yeah.
don't get that shot now. You're turning down your shot. Fuck you. Like, and I don't even say fuck you directly at Oba Femi because again, like Liv Morgan, he's just doing the best with the storylines they're giving him. But this is a shit storyline. You'll never convince me this can make sense. It's equally as stupid as Liv, but it's a bigger deal because, and I'm not trying to sound sexist here, but it is what it is. The men are kind of still the premier part of the show. It's why there can be an all male roster, there can't be an all female roster. Nobody will watch. Don't at me about it. It is what it is. I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I'm saying it's reality. Look at merch sales, look at ratings during certain matches. It speaks for itself. Like that's just the reality of it. So when you're having both sides of it, though, like no matter what demographic you look at, you're fucking it all up. Like you just made the King of the Ring tournament, more meaningless than you've made it, the last decade. So I hate everything about that. just to summarize, I fucking couldn't be less happy about this King of the Ring tournament. I fucking hate it.
You know what, dude? That's fair. And I'm with you on that. Like I'm all in on Oba. Like we know that. If you
I'm
haven't
not
figured
anymore.
that
I'm
out by
not.
now, I'm all in
Yeah,
on Oba.
I
What
know
I'm
you
not
are.
in,
I'm
same
out.
thing.
I'm out on Oba.
No,
Fuck.
same,
Fuck. All right,
same,
good. Sorry.
same shit. Same shit is one. Yeah, world champions not there. That's not for you. This is not your tournament. This is not for
Nope.
you. This is for guys like Sammy, like Oba,
Yeah.
like
LA
Wood,
Knight.
like LA Knight. Like this is who it's for. This is
Mhm.
not for you. If you've ever held world gold, this is not your tournament. You get to the back of the line, work your ass up the mountain just like everybody else does.
Chelsea
You know what
Green,
it's like to be there.
Raquel. Like, yeah, like,
Right?
give me a
Yeah.
break.
Like, so that alone right there, not great. And then, surprise, surprise, you beat the winner who happens to be the world champion, and then you go and challenge the world champion who you just beat. Like,
Yeah, get out of my face with that.
like
Ow.
it's stupid. It's stupid. And I get it. Like, oh, it's just smart. She already knows she can beat her. Like, why wouldn't you? Like, yeah, sure. That's the whole premise of the Money in the Bank, right? Like, you go through and you get your easy shot at the title to take the title
Mhm.
easily. I get that. But this, it's not the King of Ring or King of the Ring, Queen of the Ring, right? Like, that's not where it happens.
No.
This Oba thing, yeah, that pissed me off because why the fuck would you give up a world title shot because somebody anything, right? Like if I was if I'm if I, and I'm putting myself in kayfabe here, if I'm winning the world, the King of the Ring, and I get a chance at a title shot, and someone comes in and kicks me in the nuts, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna laugh at them and say that they can wish me well while they're watching my world title match from home because they're not in it. Then,
Yeah.
then after
Yep.
I'm world champion or whatever, then I can whoop that ass.
Yeah.
But
Well,
in the
then we can
meantime,
talk
my
about it.
priority is the top prize, not petty vengeance. Petty vengeance can come
Yeah.
anytime.
Yeah.
So, and this is the thing. It's like he can take it's like his quote, I can take my title match anytime.
No,
That's
you
not what
can't.
it's told.
No,
No,
you
you can't.
can't.
That's not what that's not what it is. Oh, it doesn't guarantee you a title shot whenever the fuck you want. It's not money in
Yeah.
the bank.
It is
It
not.
guarantees a title shot at SummerSlam. That is what it guaranteed you. Just like winning the Royal Rumble and saying, "Nah, I can take it whenever I want." No, you get a title shot at WrestleMania. That's what you get. Period. That's what
Yep.
the format is. You respect the format.
Yeah,
Granted,
dude.
yeah, you or Obafemi, you can have a title shot pretty much whenever they decide that that's going to happen. Story wise, yeah, it's fuck. We know you're getting pushed. We know that that's going to happen. You could take the with that same logic that we all know could have gone to SummerSlam, faced Roman Reigns, got screwed out of the match, not lost to Roman, but got screwed out because of interference with Brock, and then had your beef match with Brock because of that. He cost you the title. Then you can rewind it back because you
Hmm.
got screwed over. Then you get a clean world title match where you get that. It's the best of both worlds. The problem is that Brock wanted to retire in front of his friends and family and not in front of fucking the people at WrestleMania. That's what it
Which
was.
you know what? That's fine though. But then you don't get to have Oba win this match. Like that's
Right?
all you got to do is you just don't
Yeah.
have Oba win the match. It made no
Yeah.
sense,
It
storyline or
didn't.
otherwise, for him to win this match now. And that's
No,
what
it didn't.
kills me.
Yeah, there you could have handled this literally any other way, had him get screwed over by Brock in the final, or whatever, or Jay wins clean. Fine, that's cool. But yeah, if Oba doesn't win because Brock interferes, then he has beef with Brock for costing him King of the Ring and the world title shot. Then he takes on Brock at SummerSlam. Excuse me, at SummerSlam, and then he gets to challenge for the world title because he's Oba fucking Femi. That would
Here's
make
the
sense.
here's the
But
biggest
that's
problem
not
too.
what we
Go
got.
ahead.
That's
Yeah,
not what we
but
got. What we got was Oba winning, looking dominant as hell, which that was a good match. I like the finale. We knew Oba was gonna win, especially when he started like the second half of it when he was powering up. It made Jay kind of look silly in that. But like we knew he was gonna win. We know it's Oba. We know he's gonna be a world champion. Like, come on, man. If you're gonna throw a fucking curveball to us, do it then. Don't do it on a Raw 9 days after Sammy wins the title. That's not the curveball we want.
yeah, and
Sorry. Just
yeah, no, no, no,
I'm
no,
mad,
no.
guys.
You're
I'm mad.
no, I'm right there with you, dude. And yeah, to me, the biggest issue with this is it doesn't matter if Oba wins against Brock or not. He's going to. We all know he's going to.
Yeah.
But here's the thing: is it doesn't matter now because Brock has beaten him. Brock's already beat him. Brock got under his skin so much that he forfeited a title match that he got from the winning the King of the Ring just to fight Brock. Like
Yeah.
you already beat him. If he squashes Brock Lesnar, which I hope he doesn't, but if he squashes him, Brock still won because he just cost him a title match. Brock had a
Yeah.
long, awesome career. He doesn't need a title match. He's not even looking to be champion anymore. He's looking to retire. Like it doesn't matter to Brock. It should
Yeah.
matter to Oba, who's fresh into this company, should have big dreams and aspirations. But yeah, he just got under his skin so much to where he's like, I don't even need the title match. I just want to fight Brock. Well, Brock won. Victory Brock, no matter what happens now. That's the
Yeah.
problem.
It doesn't make any sense. It didn't make any sense
None.
whatsoever. Like you don't give up. you don't like that's like somebody dangling the world like it's literally the World Cup trophy or the Super Bowl trophy or the fucking Stanley Cup in front of you and saying, "You guys get this, you earned this shot," or you can go have a grudge match with that guy that you fought mid-season
Yeah, yeah. You want to
and
go
take
play your
that
rival or
instead.
you want to play for the Stanley Cup? You want to play for the
Yeah. What do you
championship.
want to do? That's what you want
Yeah.
to do. That's the point of the freaking sport, man. If you want to keep this real looking, that's the point of the sport. It's not always about grudges and stuff like that. You have to make the smart decision based off of the kayfabe of what you're trying to portray and make it real. And they did not do that shit at all.
No, no. In no world, kayfabe or not, this does not make sense. And that is a problem. It's a problem enough for
Yeah.
me to be scared. And like I said, I liked Obafemi too. I don't give a shit about Obafemi now. There's no reason for me to like this character who's going to be this fucking dumb.
I I like Oba and I'm still here for Oba. I
Totally
hate this
cool with it.
storyline. And I'm like, the fact that he's going in a Hell in a like you can dress it up as much as you want, but lipstick on a pig is still a pig, homie. Like this
Yep.
is going to be a Brock Lesnar retirement match where he loses to Oba inside of Hell in a Cell. It's going to be flashy and brutal and whatever. But I couldn't give it two shits. You know why? Because Oba Femi's going to win, Brock is going to lose, and he's going to retire in front of his friends and family. And that's just what's going to happen. I
I would have
know
been
what's going to
totally in
happen.
for this
Why the
match if
fuck
it
do
wasn't
I
for that.
care? Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, look, Obafemi won, and then Brock Lesnar retires. Oh my God. No, it's not. It's not surprising. That's literally what we got fucking 3 months ago at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
We
Which again,
literally
like,
already had this match, this
yeah, which
exact match with this exact outcome. We've had it already.
yeah, which the fake retirement was dumb. We've talked about that on previous episodes.
Mhm.
That was dumb, but I could still get behind, a best of three series between these two. It's just that like li literally it would have been better storytelling for Brock to screw him over on King of the Ring. It would have been better.
Yeah.
It would have made this rivalry even better. Like
Yeah.
obviously. So like there's just no part of that that makes sense to me. There's nothing you can do in the future to make this better. This was just the dumbest shit ever. It made
Yeah.
no sense. Like how does nobody in the writers room be like, I don't get it, like because I don't get it.
So here's the question then. Like going forward for Oba, because he's going to get a world title shot. He's going to be champion. We all know this. But
Mhm.
does it make more sense for him to fight what is now looking to be the lesser of the two titles, which would be the undisputed belt, that CM Punk currently holds? Or would it be the World Heavyweight Championship that Roman's currently holding? Because Roman, on paper, right now, looking at it, is a stronger opponent than, and therefore the belt is being held in a stronger position than what the uh for the under than what the undisputed belt is, who was, Cody Rhodes, who was CM Punk, who is Gunther, who is, XYZ, like all of these people are smaller in stature as far as like popularity and everything goes and reputation than the OTC. So does it make more sense for Oba to take kind of the easy win, the way that EO is doing with Liv, and take the easier belt, or do they go Titan versus Titan? Like, I feel like Titan versus Titan needs to happen to recoup some of his reputation loss from this dumbass storyline decision.
Yeah,
But that's just
I
me.
agree. I agree. I totally agree with you. Yeah, I think that you could put him against Roman Reigns. So here's my thing though. Like this isn't just sour grapes that I've made very clear about. I don't know if I think Oba's quite ready to be top champ right now. Like they're pushing him hard, and it's mostly been working up until this little, skid. But and again, I'm probably in the minority on that opinion anyway, where I just don't like him anymore. But I get it. That's like kind of an extreme reaction. But they've been pushing him really hard, and it's been working for the most part. I think if you have him win the world championship, I think it's too much too fast. There's some people who can get away with that. Most people can't. And I think that if you give Oba the strap in the next 6 months, it's going to be a little too fast, and he's going to become pretty uninteresting. Like there's really not a lot to Oba, like he's a super powerhouse. He looks awesome in the ring. He's got a great look, and he's got a cool walk down. But once you have the world title, man, you have to kind of have a dynamic character. I don't know if he's ready for that yet. But yeah, I mean, like, so him against Roman Reigns would be the bigger draw, the more interesting story to me. But I don't know if you have him beat Roman yet. Not yet. Like, I'm okay with that down the line, but I don't know. It seems a little too soon for me. Yeah, I don't know. And honestly,
No,
like
I
even
agree.
with
I agree.
yeah, yeah. I mean, like I said, it's a little bit of a tricky situation. I think you have to be careful with that. Like, and I mean that sincerely. Like, Oba has a ton of potential, and you're gonna need these younger guys to start stepping up here pretty soon, because all their old faithfuls, and I don't. Yeah, people bitch all the time about all these older champions. I do not have a problem with it. They're experienced, they're seasoned, they've been there for a long time, they know what the fuck they're doing, they tell the best stories. That's why they hold them, more championships. That's after a long, hard, well-deserved career. I think a lot of these younger guys, need to start like, and again, you've seen it in generations where the younger talent steps up and takes over. I don't know how strong I think this class is. I think you've got a few that have got a lot of potential, Oba being one of them. And I just think if you know, you don't want to slip up and go a little too hard too fast and then talk about how this never happened before, you know?
No, I totally. And I mean, like, I don't want them to slip into a thing where it's like Cody, right? Like you're gonna try and build a year-long story with Cody, like what you did with Cody and Roman, where you're gonna literally go through, get him to WrestleMania, have him lose, then have him build another year to get there and do the same shit. Like that's not believable for Oba. Oba is like 3 times the size of Cody Rhodes.
Right. No,
Um,
that's believable for Sami Zayn, actually. It's not
yeah,
believable for Oba.
no, and I'm saying like, yeah, Oba could lose to Roman, but he's not going to lose the next time they fight, and I don't think it needs to
Right.
be a year after that kind of thing. But I think you're right. Like, there's certain stuff that comes with being the champion. It's not just about having the belt, but it's like all of the other stuff that comes with it. Not only do your promos have to be sharp, do you have to stay in shape, your matches have to be good, you have to be entertaining and draw in the fans, but also you have to do all of the other outside press stuff, your merch stuff, interviews,
Yeah,
freaking,
you're the face of the
appearances, all of
company.
the other shit. Yeah, exactly. So you're doing all of that extra shit, and that's a grind, man. Like
Hmm.
that wears you down. Um, and like that's one of the things that you talk like when you do talk or when they have the interviews with the like with the more like the more veteran guys, that's what they talk about. It's like this is the grind of what being a champion really is. It's not what you see on TV, it's everything else. It's like the iceberg, right? Like you see 10% of it, but 90% of it is behind the scenes or under that water. Like I feel like that's what it is for the title, like we see like, 10-20% about what it is. And then the rest of it is just this behind the scenes whirlwind of like go, 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 where you don't get a chance to stop and catch your breath. And I think you're right. Like, I don't know if Oba's ready for that just yet because he hasn't had, like, he had, title success in NXT, but he hasn't done it on the main roster where you have to travel while being the champion and stuff, like, there's a whole different set of responsibilities that come with being a champion on the main roster that you don't have to experience as a champion in NXT at any level. So I really don't know if he's ready for that, but kind of also you don't know if you're ready until you're put in that position, right? Like you kind of got to see if you can float. Like the only way to see if you can swim is by getting in the water. So like I don't know. I want to see what he does, but historically that's why we've had the main like the mid card titles, right? Like that's what the European title was about. That's what the IC title was about. The United States title, like it was all about giving these guys a shot and seeing what they could do with it. And
Yeah,
I feel like they
100%.
kind of shot themselves in the foot by giving Oba such a big rocket on his back that like you can't let him go backwards, even for the IC belt. Like you couldn't give Oba a mid card title at this point. he has to go for the main event. Like you just pushed him too far.
Yeah,
So
yeah, and
and
he's
I don't
not
know.
ready.
Yeah, and that's the problem. Is like he might be. We don't know if he could handle that pressure or all those responsibilities and stuff. But unfortunately, we won't know until he's put in that position, and he can't be put in a training position because you've already pushed him past that point. So
Correct.
you're making him ride a bike without training wheels, essentially. And he's doing a great job now, but he doesn't have the other stuff going on. So yeah, man, I don't know. It's gonna be interesting to see with it, but this was stupid. This was a dumbass decision from them, and I don't know how it ends. Well, I know like Brock retires from it and stuff, but like yeah, like
Yeah,
the
but
next
what?
steps
Yeah,
after
what
that are
then for
critical.
Al? Oh,
Like
but yeah, yeah, I
yeah,
totally agree. Because
yeah,
you are just gonna have him. He just won the King of the Ring, and then he just finally retired Brock Lesnar, perhaps
mhm,
the most dominant figure ever in WWE. I would
yeah,
certainly argue that he is. So, yeah, then what? What are you gonna do then? Have him go after the IC title? It doesn't make a lot
yeah.
of sense. That's probably where he should be, but you can't really do it, like you said, because you just made him larger than life. Like you can't go backwards now, at least not for a while. I'm afraid he's going to wind up in limbo. I don't want to see that happen. That's kind of what I see happen.
I thought that was going to be the case in the beginning when they were just giving him those squash matches.
Yeah, yeah, it was
They
looking bad there
night
for
in
a
and
second.
night out, and it was like, oh, we're just gonna throw two people at him at once. It was like
Yeah.
nobody cares. Nobody wants to see this shit. We want to see Oba engaged in some real stuff,
Hmm.
and you're not letting us do that. Now we
Yeah,
finally get that, but they've overcorrected too far to the other side now, and I think that they are. They're just pushing him too far too fast, and I don't know what's gonna happen from that. And he could end up in limbo, and I don't want to see that happen because he's a talented young athlete, and I want to see him succeed.
absolutely. Him and Braun Breaker, again, two guys who I don't
Yeah,
think are ready quite yet, but they're the two biggest potential guys. And it kind of seems like they're starting to fumble both of them a little bit.
yeah, for sure. And I
I mean,
I thought I
Braun
felt like
more
they
than
were
Oba, but
yeah, but what they did with Braun, I felt like at first I thought they were pushing him way too hard, way too hard too fast, especially when they gave him the IC title like right out the gate. Um but then when they started giving him his more main event opponents and stuff and he really did start slowing down, to a degree. Like in the ring, you could see is more slowed down, more methodical pace and stuff. It was when he was going in against guys like Seth, against guy like he had his world champion match against CM Punk, which I felt like was amazing. That was a super smart decision because you have a guy in CM Punk who knows this business inside and out, is fantastic in the ring, and is going to be able to not only see where Braun is at, but also help him out throughout the match and kind of use it as a teaching moment, but also as a benchmark to see where he is. And I thought that was great, and it seems like that's the case every time he gets in the match or in the ring with Seth. Seth is guiding it along, and you can see Braun just getting better. So I felt like they did a really good job of that and slowing it back down for
that's a
him.
fair point. That's a really fair point.
Uh, now, I mean, he's screwed because he has to be the tag team champion because they keep getting injured. They have no like half of their stable is injured right now. They have no options, you know.
Yeah,
So it yeah, and it just sucks. It just sucks when they miss the cue kind of thing, like
yeah,
I don't
oh
know.
yeah. No, no,
Also,
no. You're right.
the king and the queen of the ring matches, the finales for this entire fucking tournament that we love weren't even on the PLE. They were on the
Yeah,
warm-up show essentially. Like the finales for both of those were on the wor- the lower card. They weren't even on the main card. So I'm like, what the hell are they even doing? Like, why are we supposed to care about it if you're opening up the free on ESPN for the first 30 minutes or whatever, you're opening up the show with Oba Femi and Jey Uso for the King of the Ring finale.
right.
Like, what
Yeah,
the hell? Why do we care? You're telling us that this isn't good enough to care about, so why should we?
Yeah, 100%, dude. 100%.
Also,
So yeah.
that women's US title match was fucking garbage.
Yeah. Yep, it was.
It was so bad.
So with that, what I'm really hoping for is that and again, this is wishful thinking here, but I'm hoping that Chelsea does a re-heel turn pretty soon here, recaptures that U.S. championship. Maybe we start actually thinking about pushing her a little bit, but
Yeah.
that's wishful thinking. I'm not you know gonna hold my breath for some of this stuff anymore, but it'd be real nice.
You know, so I know like I think I brought this up before because they were talking about on the WWE Unreal show that you don't like.
Mhm.
Um
It's not that I don't
when
like
they're
it. It's
doing
just a little too. It's a
that's
little
fair. I
too.
know, yeah. It's too behind the scenes, and I
Yeah,
get that.
yeah. I don't need to see
When
how
they
the
were
sausage is made all the way.
yeah, so they were in a planning in a booking meeting or whatever, and they were deciding how to do the Royal Rumble. And somebody, I forgot who it was, but they came up with the idea of what if Chelsea made it to like the top three, like the last three women in the ring for the Royal
Mhm.
Rumble, and she got like knocked out from the middle of ropes or pushed out from the bottom or something, so she was still in but not in. And then what if the other two women eliminated each other? So then Chelsea wins the Royal
Oh,
Rumble by default. No,
that'd be
I was,
sick.
dude, I was like, why did you not fucking do this? Like, come
That would have
on.
been
So
awesome. That would have been
I'm
awesome.
like,
That
I'm
would have been
holding it because
perfect.
it would have been like the most Chelsea Green way to win the Royal
Yes.
Rumble. And I'm like,
Yes.
I'm here for it, man. I'm so here for it. So
A
I was like,
hundred
I have
percent,
that,
man. That's
I have
gold.
I have that in my head of like it's a possibility that could happen. So it's like that. But I'm like, yeah, like why aren't we giving like just, can't we give Chelsea the money in the bank this time around? Like, can we push Chelsea to getting the freaking briefcase if we're not going to give her the Royal Rumble or whatever? Like, I want Chelsea to succeed so bad because
Me
she's
too.
so damn entertaining.
She is.
Um, yeah, honestly, that was the only I wrote that in my notes. The only exciting part of the women's US title match was the last 30 seconds where we got to see Chelsea Green and Charlotte Flair.
Yeah. Yeah. Kind of.
It
I
was
mean,
it
pretty
was
much.
garbage until they showed up.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you're right. Like, and that says something. I mean, hopefully,
Yeah.
creative starts paying a little bit of attention to that because yeah, I mean, people want to see Chelsea, and like I said, just do something with her. Like it's like just give her a chance. Like if she falls on her face, it happens, and then you move on. But man, like we're behind her. Like stop burying this girl.
Yeah. Yeah. Like somebody has to be champion. It can't always be Rhea. It can't always be Io. It can't always be Liv.
And here
Why
we
can't
are.
it be Chelsea? Why can't it be
Yeah,
Raquel? Like you keep
seriously, those
calling
are
up
those are
people
the
from
two main ones I
NXT.
want to see. Yeah,
Yeah. And you keep calling up people from NXT, which I get the churn and everything like that, but also you're adding more fish to the already stocked water. Why not
yep,
give some of these other fish a chance?
yes,
Like,
yes,
like
totally
come on,
agree.
man.
Totally agree.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I mean, so not no easy segue here, but I do have to say, just because when we were talking about Roman,
Yeah.
it came to the forefront of my mind. But I've never been super high. And don't get me wrong, let me preface this with I love this character. I think they've done a phenomenal job, but I'm not always too high or too sold on a Seth Rollins promo. Holy shit, did he cut the promo of his career against Roman Reigns about a week ago there on Raw? Like that was good shit, buddy.
Yeah,
Um,
man. You forget
he
how good he is until he's really good.
yeah, I mean that was phenomenal. Like I was in. I was like it started with like all right, like okay, like this will be fine. Like I can deal with this. Like I don't it's not really my top choice, but he didn't just sell Roman Reigns kayfabe into accepting the match. He sold me into accepting the match. Like now I'm really excited about it. He made all great points. Um, it was an expert promo from, like I said, a guy who I really like, don't always consider him to be the best on the mic, but GD, dude, like he killed that.
Yeah, yeah. I am really like oh man. So when it comes to Seth and Roman, I'm like, okay. And we have the built-in of the Shield, and I'm like, great. I know they're not going to revisit a bunch of that until they can actually get, Dean Ambrose to come over, which I don't know if that'll ever happen.
I'm
I
not
know it's
sure.
not
Never
happening
say
anytime
never.
soon. I'm
Right.
not saying never, but I am saying not anytime soon because I think it just
Doesn't
wastes
seem like
time.
it.
Um, but I it seems like it's an easy callback, right? And therefore, I think it gets kind of lazy. It feels
A
kind of
little bit.
lazy when they use it. But no, man, like it was just legit. I'm excited for this match. Typically, when
Hmm.
it goes out and they start talking and everything, I'm like, okay, oh, it's going to be Seth versus Roman, and Roman's going to win, and blah, 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 blah. Roman is amazing. Seth is amazing. I love that they both have had so much success, and they're both going to be future Hall of Famers. Like that just is what's going to happen, you know?
First ballot, absolutely 100% happening without a doubt.
Yeah. But as far as matching them together, it's just not something that I feel like I need to see because I've seen it a lot. It's like, oh, do I need to see another Cody Roman match? No, I don't. It's fun when they're together, begrudgingly having to team up. That's always fun. But I don't need to see Cody versus Roman again, title or no title. Like I don't need to see that shit.
Yeah, and
Same
that's
kind of
that's
thing with
kind of how I felt
yeah, exactly.
initially.
But
Initially.
initially, yeah. And I'm like, oh, great. Seth's calling out Roman. I guess Roman did have to have something to do at SummerSlam. Great. No, man, I'm in on this shit. It was like,
Hell yeah.
what was it? Like Liv versus Stephanie at WrestleMania. At first, I was like, okay, it might be interesting, whatever. And then you get a couple of promos in, and I'm like, I am glued to my TV. I am here
Yep.
for this.
Yep.
I'm in, man. I'm in.
Yeah. Couldn't agree more with both of those points.
Yeah. So no, I'm with you. It's not always it does feel kind of hit or miss. He hit the freaking mark with those
Yep.
promos, man. Like yeah, that. I'm excited. I'm excited for this match.
Yeah,
I
totally,
want to
dude.
see what happens. I'm excited for
Yeah.
the match. I'm excited for the build. I'm excited for everything.
Great comparison with Liv and Stephanie too, because yeah, same thing. Like I was like, all right, whatever. And yeah, like after you get a couple good promos, you're like, okay, they just sold this match, which is what it's all about. You just don't always see it happen that way. So when it does happen, and you're like, okay, well, this is what's supposed to be happening. They're supposed to be selling me this match, and I'll be damned if they didn't just sell me this match. So I'm excited about that.
Because I have nothing more to add to that.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm here for this. I want to see what happens. Um, which is not typically something that I get from Roman. His mic
No,
skills
you're
weren't
right.
the best. They're
They've
not the
improved
worst,
though.
and they've
They
gotten a
they
lot better.
yeah, they've
But
improved a ton. But yeah,
yeah, they
I agree.
absolutely have. But I mean, it's never anything that's super great. But realistically, like he's put out some great promos. Like his last,
Yeah,
yeah, the ones he did against Punk or with Punk, fantastic. The stuff he's doing with Seth, fantastic. Like he's making me want to watch this match. They, like you said, he's selling me on this match. And damn it, I'm here for it. Shut up and take my money, man. I'm good. Like we're good.
yep,
Let's do it.
yeah. So it's not all doom and gloom. And don't get me wrong. Overall, I still am enjoying this product, but yeah, that was kind of a highlight area for me.
Okay. What else is sticking out? Like, what else? We're going a lot of negative here, and I get that. What else is standing out to you as a positive? What are you looking forward to? What are you
I
happy
mean,
about?
geez, that's a little tough because we're kind of like and I know me particularly, we've been a little bit busy lately. I do wish we could have kind of checked in a little bit more throughout the way because I had a lot more positives to say, but now we just kind of had a hard reset with everything that happened. And that happens when big events happen, there kind of is a reset. So I'm not saying that that's bad in and of itself, but I don't really know the direction we're going now because we kind of had some massive things take place like we've been discussing. So really, I just have to see what they do. I'm not saying like they can't work some of the stuff out,
Mhm.
but I don't really know. You know, like I said, to me, the biggest thing that I'm looking forward to now is Seth Roman. You know, little things. I'm hoping Chelsea turns on Tiffy. I'm hoping Raquel starts getting a push. It kind of seems like they're teasing it anyway, but I've been fooled on this podcast. I think I've been fooled by this a half dozen times. So, you know, I'll believe it when I see it. So it's not as bad as we're kind of making it out to be. It's just some of the things I just don't know. I don't know what direction we're going now. So I have to see. You know, I probably need a couple weeks to really kind of tell you more highlights than that because I don't really know what we're doing right now. And again, like I've said this before, like on the road to WrestleMania, I think I said this a bunch, and that was a bad thing. Right now, I don't mean it as a bad thing. Like with a lot of these things that just happened, King and Queen of the Ring, you know, what's going to happen after Oba Brock, you know, Roman Seth, like a lot of these things, like I hate to say it, but I might have to kind of start to chew on the road to SummerSlam and the aftermath of SummerSlam because they could take us for a lot of swerves here, or they could do nothing. And obviously, you know, depending how or what they do, it's gonna reflect my view of the product. But right now, I just don't really know where we're at for better or worse. What about you?
Honestly, like so, like I said, like I'm happy about the Seth Roman stuff and some of the like the bloodline, the greater bloodline stuff, like seeing how Jacob's integrating in and that sub storyline with it. Um, I'm really happy with the Danhausen stuff. Like honestly, uh, that just keeps me going. Um,
Yeah, Danhausen stuff is still very good, very entertaining, very evil.
very entertaining, very evil. And okay, I'm gonna go on a tangent here. This is all of the things that I've said kind of before, or whatever. You really are getting to see how fucking good Dominic Mysterio is, and JD, honestly,
Mhm.
by
Absolutely.
extension of this, because they're having to do the acting portion a lot in this. We
Yep.
know that Dom can wrestle. We know that Dom his voice is not the best, but his mic work is actually pretty solid. It's not the most fantastic. He's not like, a superstar on the mic, but he gets the job done and he gets the crowd to do what he needs them to do.
He's an
Cheer,
expert
boo,
at
whatever.
playing. He's an expert at playing into the crowd.
He really is. And I mean, like, this kid is a freaking natural. And I'm just like, everything I ever said about Dominic Mysterio in the long, long ago, and not on this show because eh, eh, when he first got in, I figured he was just a nepo baby.
Oh yeah,
Um,
yeah, I did too. I
no,
don't think anybody liked
it
him at first. He had to turn on his
no,
dad, and then we started paying
yeah,
attention.
yeah. Yeah, I eat my words, man. I'm so happy that Dominic Mysterio is here. I think
Yeah,
he does have the potential to be the best Mysterio, honestly. And
personally, he's already my favorite Mysterio. And
I,
I've watched Ray since WCW.
I love Ray.
I love
Uh,
Ray too, and I'm not saying
I
Dom's more talented in the ring, but I've never been like a big Ray guy. Like it's not like he ever had a lot of
yeah,
personality.
yeah, and it's yeah, Ray was Ray, and you knew what you got were gonna get going in, and he's
Mhm.
been Ray essentially the same since like WCW and ECW, honestly. Like he's
Yeah,
been the same guy, um, which is fine and it's great, and it's obviously worked for him. He's a freaking Hall of Famer. He's one of the most, if not the most, famous active luchador in the world, right? Like,
yeah.
um, so there's that. But yeah, there's just Dom owns this shit, man. He's so versatile. He's so just well versed and everything. And it's like his crowd work is amazing. He makes the crowd eat out of his palm, and it's fantastic. Um, and you really see how he's gonna be able to transition to face when it makes sense. And that's been my major thing of like him versus Logan Paul. Both
Mhm.
hated, both really good heels, but he's going to be able to transition in a way that I don't think Paul's going to be able to. And I made that argument before.
Yeah,
Um,
and I don't disagree.
yeah, so I feel like he has a bright, bright future. I feel like Logan Paul's going to be limited, but it is what it is. Um, but you it gives us more Dom, which I love. And it's given us more JD, which I started out anti JD. I'm like, why is this Lord Farquaad looking motherfucker on my TV? I don't care. Like, I just don't care about you. You should have literally let R-Truth in the Judgment Day because that would have been a better fit than JD.
Yeah,
Nope,
no,
I was wrong.
same. He won me over just the same.
I was incorrect. Him on the mic so far has been great. He's
Yep.
when it was the drama stuff with Finn, he was in there and it seemed believable. He's been fantastic in the ring. Like, oh my God, I was not expecting this from
Oh,
JD
he's
when I actually
phenomenal in the
gave him a
ring.
shot. Once I gave him a shot, I was like, holy shit, I was missing this and this sucks. And I own that. I own that. I did not give him his respect in the beginning, and that was my bad. I absolutely should have been paying more attention to him because damn, that guy is so talented. Um,
Yes, he
and
is.
now back and now with the backstage stuff, he's like able to do the comedy stuff just as well. And I'm like, this guy is just he's in it for whatever needs. Like he's a company guy. He's in for the ride no matter what that ride looks like. And I am so here for it, man. Like it's been so good. It's just, yeah, it's made me love the Judgment Day. It's made me love Danhausen more. It's made me love these guys individually. Like just everything that's happening there is fantastic. And anytime it's any combination of those three on screen, I'm here for. That gives me hope. Um, the other stuff that they're giving Chelsea more screen time, even if they are kind of pairing her up with Tiffany, it means we get more Chelsea, and I'm here for that too.
Yep. Yep. You took
Uh,
Alba Fire away from her, which is not really a big deal, but yet you
yeah,
gave her to Tiffy. And there's a lot of things you could do with that. Even if they just have them have a tag run, like that's cool. But at the end of the day, you know when things end between them, it's kind of got to be because of a turn. And I think we all know who's going to be the one turning.
yeah, yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong.
Um,
Tiffy's better as a heel too. I think she's still
yeah,
kind of green and she kind of fits the heel mold a little bit more. But I think we like a heel sassy Chelsea enough to where like that's kind of where I feel like they got to go with it.
so I'm in a disagreement there. I honestly feel like they're gonna turn Tiffy heel and put Chelsea in a position to be the face in that for the crowd sympathy. Like I feel like Tiffy's gonna snap on her and that Chelsea's gonna get the beat down or whatever happens, and she's gonna be kind of the wounded animal that the crowd is gonna sympathize towards, and that's gonna be her face turn.
You know what? I'm
That's how
actually
I see
glad
it.
that you called me on that. I'm glad you called me on that because as I was saying it, I was like, that actually could be exactly what Chelsea needs to elevate her. But I was already saying it, so I was like, I can't really go back mid-sentence on this. But then you called me out, and I kind of agree with that. Like, I think that Chelsea needs, like, she's just missing something to the people backstage. Maybe Tiffy turning on her and the crowd rallying behind Chelsea is the wave she needs to like move up to the next level, next tier. So I'm gonna eat my words on my initial statement. I'm gonna yield to that. I think that you're right.
Thank you. You know what? I don't disagree with you though. Like heel Chelsea is fantastic, but here's the good
It's
thing about
status quo though.
Chelsea.
You're right. It's status
It
quo.
is
Yeah.
pretty status quo, but I feel like, and this is how I'm envisioning this once it happens, and if it's true, I'm gonna be so happy. I envision her becoming like a babyface from how we said, like Tiffy's gonna turn on her and turn heel, and she's gonna get the sympathy turn. But I think that Chelsea is not going to change her behavior kind of in any way and is still going to be Chelsea that we know and love. but now people are just going to cheer for her instead of booing. Like, I feel like
Yeah.
this, she's not going to change at all because she doesn't need to. She's just going to
No.
come in and keep doing the same shit, and it's going to be fantastic. It's going to be like what the organic turn that happened with New Day. One day they're getting booed and they keep doing the same shit, and the next day they're getting cheered out the building. And it's so
Yeah.
like I feel like that's going to happen.
You're right. Next day you knew everybody was chanting New Day Rocks. Next thing you know, we're all going to be saluting her.
We are. We are. Well, I already pledge allegiance, but I'm waiting for the rest
As
of
do
you out
I.
there, man. We're here.
Same,
We're
same.
here. Yeah, and I think the other thing, honestly, it's mostly in the mid card, like the in the US division and the like the intercontinental divisions. I think that there's a lot of really, really good potential that's happening in there with like, with honestly with Rusev, as Rusev is stepping up as a vet and like helping these guys out. But Ricky Saints, Trick Williams,
Yep.
Ethan Page, um,
Yeah, yeah.
like Penta, going in with the IC title and stuff. Ray Phoenix with the AAA, was it the cruiserweight or light heavyweight that he has? I forget which one it is. Um, but or was it yeah. So it's like that kind of stuff. When those like these guys are just coming up in the mid card, they're doing exactly what mid card's supposed to do and keeping it entertaining in that lull that you have during the show. So I'm
Yeah.
really happy about that actually. Like the middle of the shows are progressing nicely, and I'm a fan. Like it's keeping me pretty entertained throughout the bit until they pull like, the bigger stupid decisions like we mentioned. But yeah, everything else for the most part, like I'm actually really happy about.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel I feel I feel optimistic. That's the best way I think I could put it. Is I know I've had, I've got some initial complaints, but I've learned that, sometimes with my initial complaints, it could be exactly as I'm seeing them. Sometimes they're taking me for a ride. I hope I'm being taken for a ride. And even if I'm not, there's still enough good things to kind of see through it. Like, so yeah, overall, I'm okay. I'm pretty good. Um, so yeah, I mean, I don't know if you got anything else to note, but do you want to do updated Power Fives?
Yeah, yeah. Let's get into our power
All right.
rankings.
Do you want to take the lead or would you like me to?
I'll go ahead. I'll go ahead.
All right.
All right. I'll start with the men. How about that?
All
Um,
right.
So for my honorable mention, as I've said before, this guy is going to be on the list as long as I can justify it. It's Danhausen, guys. Like
All right. Hey, hey, good.
since the Knicks winning, he's been in and just doing stuff, and they've been steering into it, and it's just been phenomenal. He's in the storyline with JD and Dom right now, and it's just elevating everybody. It's entertaining, and realistically, like I don't care if it's the kitschy side of it. That's what you want in pro wrestling sometimes. And I feel like we forget that when you're trying to be too serious, you leave out other aspects of the show that are really entertaining and that bring that relief that make the more serious stuff pop.
Comedy
So
absolutely has a place in pro wrestling. Couldn't agree more.
absolutely, absolutely. So
It
Danhausen gets
can't
the honorable
dominate, but
mention
yeah,
for
you
that.
could. Yep, totally, totally.
Number five, I put Ricky Saints for just coming in and getting the opportunities that he's had, but not
Mhm.
shows that they're kind of pushing him a little bit. But also maybe he's doing Ricky Saints stuff. Like he comes in, you know what to expect. You're like you pretty much thought you know what to expect coming in, and he's been delivering. The same thing with Ethan Page. It's just they came in up from NXT and hit the ground running, and I love it.
Yeah.
Number four was Seth Rollins
Mhm.
with him beating Braun Breaker and everything, and then going on to challenging Roman. And in the storyline that they're going, they're still really kind of pushing him and focusing on Seth, relying on him being the main event guy that
Mhm.
can, challenge Roman because they need somebody to. Uh, I feel like that's a good fit, and obviously he's been fire so far, so he gets my number four spot. Number three, I begrudgingly have to give it to CM Punk. Nothing against Punk himself, but it was just the decision making behind everything and his return and all of that. I have to give it
Hmm.
to him because he's the new champion. I have to. But
Totally.
at the same time, it wasn't the best. Number two, Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn got pushed. He got his title, and I'll be damned if he's not getting this spot. You know, the only reason he's not number one is because they took the title from him 9 days later. Like realistically, that's the only reason. But Sami Zayn gets the number two spot for finally, you know, toppling the mountain and getting there. And I'm hoping it's not the last time. And then number
Fair enough.
one, Obafemi. Um, you don't have to like the storylines that he's in, but there is no arguing that he's not the focus right now. Like he's a bigger focus, I would say, than Roman is right now. They're actively putting him in those big ticket storylines over Roman, who they're just more or less letting hold the title and just be there lurking as kind of a final boss situation. They're focusing on Ova and is like making him king of the ring, making him or giving him the opportunity to retire Brock at SummerSlam, like those kinds of things. Um, they're really pushing him, and I think that he's earning that number one spot just for the sake of where he's at in the company, what he's bringing in. So that's my men.
Yeah, not bad, not bad. So so it's kind of funny. All right, so I'll start with my honorable mention. My honorable mention is Solo Sikoa, and it's just because I'm very intrigued by his position right now.
That's
I find
solid.
it,
That's solid.
yeah, yeah, like he hasn't done enough to like break into my top five, but I'm intrigued about his character, and it's the first time I've been intrigued about his character in some time. Um, like he's kind of trying to find some allies right now. He's kind of gearing up for war against his family. And obviously there's implied and obvious questions about where his allegiance truly stands. That adds to the intrigue. So I'm very much so looking forward to what's coming next with Solo. I hope they don't pull the plug on whatever direction they're trying to go with him because I'm into it. And I'm afraid that like everybody kind of is, but it's a quiet intrigue because we have no idea the direction they're going to choose to go with it. But
Right.
I'm absolutely intrigued, and I hope that they do something with them. I'd love to put them in my top five at some point. Number
Yeah, for sure.
five, and this is the funnier one, is like I have Oba at number five, and everything you said for him at number one, I get. But every bitch and moan I just made this episode is why he's five. Um, this is nothing against him as a person or an athlete or whatever. It's his character, and that's all I can go off of is the characters and the television show that I watch. And because it's such a stupid decision, I've soured a little bit on this character. And like I said, there's no way to repair what you just did. Like obviously, once the storyline's done, like time heals all wounds. That's true in pro wrestling too. But to me, this is just such a bad setup. I can't have him higher than five. Um, Oh yeah, and sorry, I had two honorable mentions. Cody Rhodes is the other one. He was really just world champ. I think that he's playing nice because it kind of looks like they might let him take a little break and have a back seat. Which I think we all, and like I've said it probably 100 times on this podcast alone. I do believe in Cody as QB1. I think he's the most important character on the show right now. But it's been a lot. We've been going pretty hard for a while. I could use us pumping the brakes on Cody for a minute. Let's take a little break. And I kind of feel like that's what they're setting up. But Cody, hell of a run. I got to give him an honorable mention, but he gets bumped from the list, at least my list, for the first time in a long time. Um, because he just has a kayfabe injury and he just lost the title. So that's the other one. So anyway, Oba five. I got Roman at four. Um, I really no shot at the man. I'm into everything that they're doing right now. And I know we've had a little bit of you know, disagreements about the direction of the bloodline, but to me, it's working right now. I'm digging Jacob with them. I'm digging kind of what direction they might be going. I dig that, there's a lot of people upset about their reuniting. I think that, we can appropriately milk this a little bit more after giving it a little bit of a break. I'm interested in seeing where it's going. I think that he looks good with the belt, like he's a true champion. So, but obviously like the most intriguing part right now with Roman, which is why he's only at 4, is that fucking bomb ass promo that's my number 3, Seth Rollins just cut. So that was an easy segue into my number 3. And I talked about it earlier. That was the best promo I've ever seen Seth cut. And that doesn't mean that I think he's a bad promo guy, but I don't think he's normally anything super special. He's great in the ring. He's always a good enough promo. He's always really good at what he does. I love Seth Rollins. But yeah, that was just a bomb promo. And I don't think he's going to beat Roman Reigns, but he's going to make this a really, really good spot in the card, um, wherever it winds up falling. So I'm looking forward to watching this kind of build up to SummerSlam. So good shit on that. Um, so sorry. All right. So number 2, I got Sami Zayn. If we would have done this episode, a week ago, he would have been number 1. But obviously shit's changed, and I don't really want to revisit that. So Sami at number 2. I hope they do something with him that doesn't just kind of push him back to the mid card. And number 1, begrudgingly, also CM Punk. I don't like what just happened. I don't like how that was booked, but CM Punk is an annoyingly arrogant person that I believe in real life. But the problem with it is that he's arrogant about the things that he's right about. He is one of the best in the world, if not the like. He's really good at pro wrestling. He's a very smart pro wrestler. He's a very smart businessman. He's just very good at what he does. And kind of what I was talking about earlier. I don't like what they did here at all. Like not at all. But this isn't Punk's fault. And again, I said this earlier. When Punk's music hit, I popped on on the inside. I felt it. I felt the excitement, even though I knew what that music meant. So like I
Yeah.
squashed it down as quickly as I could, but I felt it. And that's Punk. Um, Punk, like I said, I don't like what they did, but despite that, I understand that whatever Punk does now, it's gonna be good because it's CM Punk. CM Punk as the world champion is never a bad thing. As much as it does kind of pain me to say that, I'm not saying, and again, this does not mean that I would rather have CM Punk be champion right now than Sami Zayn. I assure you, it is very, very much so the opposite. But he's going to do good because he's really fucking good at his job. So he just came back in Chicago, just won the world championship, gave us a throwback smooch as he went into the rafters. Like, dude's just good at his job, man. So like, I don't know how long he's gonna hold my number 1 spot. It might be 1 week, but like, I have to be fair and look at what I have, look at what's happened, and also like give these individuals credit. Punk's the man. He did a damn good job there.
Yeah. I do respectable list, 100%. Everything you said is correct, and I agree with it. Like our rankings are different, but everything you said was absolutely correct.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Uh, all right. So for the women, I have Tiffany as my honorable mention.
Okay.
Um, she's just her title reign has not been anything great. Like we took it off Maxine for whatever reason.
Mhm.
And it's on Julia and stuff. It just hasn't been a strong belt, right? And
No.
Tiffany has not been doing the most fantastic stuff with it either. So it just is what it is. She's involved in storylines now, obviously, just being the by virtue of being the champion, but then also being, just kind of there and with Chelsea and everything. So she's still there, but she's not doing anything entertaining for me. For me, it's the same. We're looking at Tiffany Stratton, who won the title from Nia Jax. Like this is the same character that had that swagger attitude about her. There's not been a whole lot of uh evolution that happened with that.
Totally
And I'm
agree.
waiting for the evolution. I'm here for the evolution. I'm waiting for it to happen because I like her. She's great in the ring. I like, I like w- when she's entertaining, she's very entertaining. And I'm just
Yeah,
waiting to get that next part of it that makes her character interesting again, if that makes any sense.
it makes
Um,
all the sense in the world, man. Absolutely.
so for number five, I have Blake Monroe. They've been putting her on, like I know they had they did the vignettes and stuff when they had her debuting and coming up and everything. But since her coming up, like, with her run-ins and everything like that, like they've been featuring her quite a bit. So I think that they have something planned. Obviously they can't go like the Sol Ruka route where they're just going to give her the belt within 3 weeks of her being there. Um, but I feel like she's going to get something pretty quick. It might be a slower burn, but I'm intrigued to see what happens. And the fact that they do keep putting her on TV and keeping her engaged in these stories and stuff, she gets number five for me.
Yeah,
Number four is going to be Chelsea Green.
right on.
I have to put her there just because they're not doing a whole lot other than the same stuff that I said for Blake. She's doing a lot of the run-in stuff, the backstage vignettes and everything. She's losing matches, she's in them, but she's losing them, and they're treating her kind of like, a mid-card jobber more or less right now. So I feel like she's like fighting for that storyline that's gonna pay off with Tiffany, but right now it's still in its infancy stage.
Mhm.
So she's not higher up on the list. Um,
Okay.
Raquel Rodriguez has my number three spot, and I'll tell you why. Because Raquel's awesome.
I
That's
love
all.
Raquel.
That
I
is
love
it.
Raquel.
She has my number. She is solid in the number three spot because it's a dependable spot. You know what you're going to get from her. Um, yeah, I cannot wait until she actually gets a world title. Uh,
Same. Same.
until then, like we just kind of have to wait and see. But I feel like it's coming. I don't know if it's going to be like if this is kind of moving towards like another Judgment Day split or something like that. But I do feel like with them putting her in the positions and storylines that they have been over the last couple of months, that they have been focusing on her more. So I'm intrigued. Number two goes to Liv Morgan. Like she is the world champion. She was a finalist in the Queen of the Ring. Um, it wasn't the strongest showing, but you know what you can get with Liv. Again, she goes in, she's gonna put on a good match. She just is. Uh yeah, she gets the number two spot, and that's only because the Queen of the Ring herself, Io Sky, took the number one spot. Which I like. If you guys can't think of or can't wrap your head around how I do my thing, my algorithm is pretty much an equal bit what I think of them personally and what I see on TV, like as far as them being pushed and stuff. Are they getting more airtime? Are they getting more TV time? More storylines? What kind of storyline are they in? Are they winning matches, losing matches? Are they getting booked in a way that makes sense? That kind of stuff. And right now, I mean, EO obviously with being Queen of the Ring, all signs are pointing to her being the champion at SummerSlam. I don't like that necessarily, but also I don't hate it. It's just kind of meh. I much would have rathered it be Raquel or Roxy or, you know, any other number of women that were in the Queen of the Ring, it should have been Chelsea.
Yeah,
But
yeah, 100%.
like honestly, it should have been Chelsea. Chelsea had the win,
Yeah,
and I like
Chelsea
it
or
made
Raquel would have
no
been
sense.
great.
Yeah, I'm still mad about that, dude. I'm so mad.
I same, same,
But
same.
but irregardless, um, we know where it's going. We'll see what happens when we get there. But I mean, for all intents and purposes, she puts on solid performances when she's in the ring. There's nothing against her as a person or anything. I'm just kind of stay like it's just kind of stale to me. But there's no there's no arguing the fact of what she can do in the ring, what she looks like when she's in the ring, her performances that she gives, and the fact that she's queen of the ring and is probably going to be the next women's world champion. So yeah, she gets the number one spot.
Well, wow. Love the list, and I love it because I feel like we might have one thing out, but I feel like I have an almost identical list, like down to the honorable mention. I'm
I
gonna say my
love it when
list.
this happens.
Yeah, yeah. Like so, my honorable mention is Tiffy. My number five is
Okay.
Chelsea. What was
Okay.
yours? Was your five Chelsea?
My five was Blake Monroe.
Okay. My four is Raquel. My
Okay.
three is Blake Monroe. My two
Okay.
is Liv, and my one is Io.
Dude, it's all the same people, just in a different order. That's amazing. I love
Yeah,
it.
that's great stuff. Yeah, even my honorable mention, I was like, like once you started going down, I was like, oh, these are close. I don't have any notes to add because mine are the same reasons as yours. So like, I actually don't have much to add. Like that's also my list. So there you have it.
That's amazing. Like,
Yeah, it's
and
great.
again, guys, we literally don't plan this. Like, we
No, we
don't
don't we
talk.
don't
We
talk about this.
honestly,
Yeah,
we don't talk about wrestling outside of the podcast. As much as this pains us, we
yeah,
don't talk about wrestling outside of the podcast because of the 2 hour episodes that you get here are the truncated version of what actually would happen if we got talking about wrestling.
yeah,
And we would have nothing for the podcast, and we wouldn't get any hot takes or actual emotion when we're talking about stuff because we would have already talked about it.
yeah.
So
We don't like to script it. We kind of like to go in and just riff. So yeah, I mean the most I think like this week the most was like, hey, did you see this? Did you see what just happened? That's pretty much it though. Like we won't talk about it, but we'll that's the most. Like we'll like nudge like, hey, if you haven't watched it, check this out. Like but yeah, we don't really talk wrestling. We try to save it for the podcast. So yeah, that's fun.
mm,
That's fun.
yeah, yeah, I love it. I love it when this happens.
Yep.
And yeah, yeah, no notes on that. It's just good. It's just good to
Mhm.
know that we're on the reaffirmation that we're on the same wavelength on stuff.
Exactly. Exactly. Good stuff.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know. Final words. I'm I'm optimistic. Stealing a
Same.
quote from you. Like I'm
Yep.
optimistic. I think SummerSlam's going to be good. Um Saturday night slash Sunday night main event now um is probably going to be entertaining. But I enjoyed the last one. Like they weren't bad. You know, they actually have been really good PLEs,
Yeah,
definitely
they're
on the
not bad.
smaller
They're not
side,
bad.
but yeah, it's like an enhanced Raw, but it's like it was meant to feel that way, not
Yeah.
like it was a PLE that was supposed to be a PLE, but ended up being an enhanced, overproduced Raw.
Yeah.
Cough,
It's
cough, Scotty, cough,
yeah.
cough.
Yep. Yep. Exactly.
Yeah, no, Saturday night main events feel like what you would expect a Saturday night main event to feel like. You know, it feels
Exactly.
like the
It's just
the
right.
PLE that's bridging the gap between the bigger PLEs. And you know what? There's nothing wrong with that. It is
No.
what it is. You get solid performances out there, and you know what? They've been going hard in those things, man. So I've been entertained with those. So I'm looking forward to the next one.
Yeah. Same.
Uh
Same.
yeah, other than that, we'll hit up you guys again next week after after we watch Raw and everything and see what changes.
Yeah. Yep. I'm looking forward to it. You know, eager to continue taking this ride, and we'll see how it goes.
All right, man. So yes, everyone out there, from all of us here at Make Us Believe, which is, again, as I always say, the next two voices that you're allowed, or that you're going to hear, not
That you're
allowed, but
allowed to hear. You're not
you're
allowed to hear any
allowed
other
to hear.
names.
I'm Michael.
I'm John.
Don't stop believing, guys.